Hello, hello. I think we are live. Just let me check on my Facebook page. Hi, it's Melinda from Scrapbooking and Craft. How you all going this cold? Looks like Facebook has changed all the settings on my computer and now I can't find anything. Typical Facebook. Please stop. Please stop changing things. Oh, it does look like I am live. Just trying to see if the voice is... Hello, I think we are live. Just let me check. Let me get rid of myself on my phone now. I might have to bring up comments on my phone. So if you are joining me on this lovely lockdown, what day are we on? I have no idea. Saturday. There's my comments. Now, how do I get those? Oh, they've got comments on the other side of the screen now. Facebook, you need to leave things alone. Facebook. Sorry, bear with me 1 second. I'm trying to work out where my comments are. I love when Facebook do updates. Hi Janie, hi Lynn, how you going? Lynn, I owe you an email back. I'm sorry, I will get there. I owe a few people emails back, but I will get there eventually. Life is nuts at the moment. Then you throw COVID in, it makes it even nuttier. So welcome to my live. I was supposed to be live at 1 o'clock today. You know what I've learned from the last few weeks? Don't make plans, Melinda. Don't plan to do anything, because something disrupts my plans. So COVID is disrupting a lot of them. That's a given. Today I thought I'd do a live at 1 o'clock and I was watching Jen from Hillbilly Scrapping at 11:30 and my power goes out. Then it comes on, then it goes out, then it comes on, and it was like, holy hell. Then the internet was playing up because the power went out. Oh my god. So it's been one of those days. So instead of fighting with it at 1 o'clock and dropping in and out, I thought I'll just skip it and hopefully it's fixed. So I've had power back on for quite a few hours now. All our street was out. It was weird. I thought it was just my house, but I went out to my neighbour and another neighbour was out. And I said, have you lost power? He goes, yes. I said, great. I don't have to go look at my fuse box. Hi Desiree, how you going? Hi Lynn. So I thought I'd play with one of my stencils in a different way. Now I must admit I've copied this idea from someone, but that's alright, we copy all the time from other artists. If you did the May retreat with Hillbilly Scrapping and myself, you may have done this class, or you may have seen Neve do this idea with a different stencil, but I thought I'd try it with my stencil. So tonight we're going to use this particular stencil. Now I know a lot of you have ordered these, so you can use any stencil that's got the half face. We're not going to use what's on this side of the face, we're going to just use the facial features. So any of you that have bought any of these stencils from me, and I know a bunch of you have, we are going to make some funny looking people. And I can't see my screen and comments, or hopefully that will scroll up. So this is what I made the other day, using the face as a guide and then just freestyling the rest of it. So I made that one. Neve used one of Dina Wakely's, I think it's called the Pensive Face, when she did it, and she got the idea of someone else as well. But this one's a bit more different with hair, so you can sort of personalise them. Then I thought, of course, yeah, I've made two like that, let's make something different. So I made one with splotchy hair, just to do something very different. And then I decided to play around with the black face and white hair. Don't know whether I really like this one. Has to grow on me. It's different. So we're going to make a couple tonight. The idea was to come on and make them at 1 o'clock and then come back tonight and put them on an art journal page, but we're just going to make them. Maybe I'll make an art journal page later. So you don't need many supplies at all. You need a stencil, and dive through your stash. You could probably use a lot of other stencils as well. We just need some black paint pens or black permanent markers, a pair of scissors. Don't need many supplies at all. So I'm going to do the first one on just some white smooth watercolour paper, and then I've grabbed some pink and some beige and some green paper we might use later, but we'll start with a white one. I'm a bit handicapped today. I dropped a box on my thumb yesterday, a packing box of books, when I was moving it in my shed, and yeah, it's a bit sore. I don't know. So I'm going to turn this around. So with these stencils, your faces can face either way. Just going to scroll down and see if, I know the comments aren't moving. So you can have all of these ones. I did my face facing sort of that direction. So my eyes and nose, I did that side of the face, left-hand side of the face. So I might turn around and do any side of the face. So you may have other face stencils from other manufacturers you can use. What I find is I don't like using pencil a lot because with my low vision I can't really see what I'm doing. So I either go straight in with a paint pen, or I'm actually going to do it with a bit of ink just to outline the features of the face. So when you're working on your paper, you want to leave enough room for your hair. So when you're positioning your stencil, you don't want to be really scungy with your paper and stick your stencil right in the side. You want to sort of leave enough room to do your hair. This particular one, I cut the face out because I thought I'll try a different hair and it didn't work. So you have the option, if you stuff the hair up, cut out the face and stick it on another bit of paper. Always works that way. So with pencil, or I'm just going to use a bit of ink so I can see it a bit better. All I'm going to do is do the eyebrow, the eye, the nose, the dot, and the mouth, and the chin at the bottom of the chin. So I'm just going to use a blending tool and my permanent ink just so I can get the sort of outline of the facial features. And I'm going to go over it with a paint pen. Again, you could do this with a pencil, but I find it really hard to see pencil, so I either do it with a paint pen or straight with some ink. So we're only just putting down a guide, and then I'm going to turn this around to do it. And I apologise if my big head gets in the way. So basically now we want to just colour in and make our facial features stand out. So I've just got some Posca paint pens. So I'm going to see if I can draw from a distance, which will be fun. So these are all different quirky characters you can use in your art journal. You can stick them on cards. Basically, once you've made the basic shape and the face, you can then make any sort of hair you like. You can dive into your stash and get all sorts of stamps and stencils and go to town. So I'm just tracing directly over that ink or your pencil line if you've done it with pencil. If you're not exactly accurate, it doesn't really matter. This thicker paint pen is working a bit better than the thin one, so I'm just using that. Colouring in the bit of the eye. I am going to add the bottom bit of the eye like I have done with this one. Hi Wendy, how you going? So I am just going to put a little line in here. It's hard when I make the stencils to put a lot of detail in because A, the stencil gets a bit fragile, or B, it's hard to put lines in and make them stay in, and yeah, making stencils with faces is fun. I've got a couple in the works at the moment that are just not working out and I just don't know how to fix them and make the bit that I want to cut out stay there and the other bit cut out. So that's the nose. So making face stencils is fun. So I'm just tracing around the lips. Again, I could do this in a different colour, but I like the black and white. Can't see what I'm doing, which is nothing unusual. Might be time for a new pair of glasses, I think. So has everyone been crafting today? I know a lot of us are in lockdown in New South Wales and Victoria now. I've had a lot of our craft shows cancelled. The last 4 craft shows have been affected, or craft events have been affected by COVID. We've just lost, I can announce it now, we've just lost our show next weekend in Geelong, which I'm sort of glad it got cancelled because I didn't really want to go anyway, with COVID being around in Melbourne, but that one has been cancelled. Which is good when the exhibitors cancel them, or the organisers, because then we are getting our money back on that one. If they're rescheduled, sometimes our money is carried over to the next event, which makes it hard. And if we cancel them, obviously we lose our money. But I didn't really want to go anyway. Isn't that terrible? So I think that was a good call for them to cancel that one. Our next one in August is looking iffy as well, because a lot of the exhibitors for that one are out of towners and can't get into Victoria, which is interesting. Now the fun begins. Now we're going to bring our stencil back and put our chin in so we can easily line our stencil up. And I apologise if my head gets in the way. Oh, can't see what I'm doing. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I just want my sort of chin line, and I want sort of that bit of line over there. So now we get to be crazy with our hair. So obviously we're going to have a neck coming down here. And what we're going to do is actually we're going to cut off this side of the face. If you wanted to, you can make it a full face, but I think these half faces look really cool. Oh, Jamie, you tried this after watching Neve. Yeah, I watched Neve put a video up on YouTube as well, and I thought that's when I decided to give it a try. I did do one with the May Retreat. I don't know which art journal that was in, with the other stencil, and I thought, oh, I want to try it with my stencils. And it works just as well. Work with any face stencil. So now we've got a decision. The thing with the hair is it's very forgiving. If you stuff it up, you can just give it a haircut, which is really cool. So what I might do is I sort of want the hair to come into here so it looks like it's over the face, so it doesn't look like the face is sort of missing. Janie, have you put yours up on Instagram yet? I'd love to see what they're like. Okay, so I want to bring this line in around here and do some hair. As I said, it's very forgiving if you stuff it up. I'm going to go round. This line obviously is going to be covered up here because we're going to paint all this in black or colour it in with texture. So then I want to bring this up here and sort of bring some of her hair in like this, maybe. As I said, this is very forgiving. If you do stuff it up, you can just redraw it, and when we cut it out. Now what I'm going to do is when I cut this out is I'm actually going to cut in here sort of like this, so that this bit here, what I'm scribbling in, is going to be cut out. So let's go. I like to cut it out first, and then I can always trim it up before I go and colour it in. I think it's fun to be able to use stencils in different ways. Hi Fee, how you going? And again, I don't have to be accurate with the drawing or the cutting because I can always cut more bits off. So I'm just going to roughly cut it out. So doing this, they're very forgiving. The weirder they are, the better. Actually, what I might do is stamp on this one's hair. That would look rather cool. Instead of doing it all black. It depends how much I stuff it up, whether I can stamp on it or colour it in black. If I've stuffed it up and got too many lines where I shouldn't have it, I usually will paint it in black. Now I'm going to go in here. And you're sort of following nose line up and then going up between the eyes. And again, you can always trim more off if you don't like how you cut it. It's only paper. You stuff it up. What have you wasted? A sheet of paper. It's not that bad. And if you totally stuff up your hair, you just cut out your face and stick it on another head. I did that the other day. I tried to do curly hair, and yeah, my daughter told me that didn't look very good, so I gave up on that. Don't you know how polite teenagers are? So I'm hoping my 2 lives actually go ahead tomorrow, and Alexis might join me in one of them. Being a teenager, you know what teenagers are like. If she's feeling sociable and wants to come on camera and do some art with us, she might come on and do some art with us. We'll see. We were talking about it the other day. It just depends whether it happens or not. That is looking fairly good. Just put that down on the pink. So I can go in and trim up any bits I don't want. I think I'm wanting to trim a little bit off here because I'm not liking how fat that is. So let's just give her a facelift. Let's give her some plastic surgery. And then I want to go, I don't know what I want to go with her neck. It's going to shorten her neck, so I want to go that way. Often I won't draw things. I'll just start cutting with my scissors, and yeah, I find if I draw it in pencil, I want to get it exact. I've shortened her neck a bit, but that's okay. It will still work. Let's give this one some, what can I draw on the back of? I can draw on the back of this. I just don't want to draw on my pink bit of paper. So to do big areas of hair, I'm just grabbing an alcohol marker. This is a Montmark one from Hillbilly Scrapping. Just to do it really quick, I could paint it as well. I did that with this one. I painted the black face. I painted white gesso on the paper. So I'm just using sort of cardstock paper. You don't want to use sort of thin photocopy paper. You want it to be a bit more substantial, but I don't want it to be too thick also. Oh, it looks like my marker's running out. This one's been well used. I don't know whether I've got my other one handy. Let me just whiz back and see if I've got my other marker handy. Excuse me while I rummage through my box of all my pens and try to find the one I want. That's probably not in here because someone's probably not put it back. That someone is probably me. We'll just grab a couple of black Sharpies. I'm trying to get organised. Does anyone ever have that? They're not organised? Oh, thanks, Fee. Oh, I can't take credit for it. This is a Neve. Actually, Neve got inspired by another artist, but I thought, let's try them with my stencils. I like to get a few different looks out of my stencils, so I don't just have to use it the same way and the same way over again. Oh, thanks, Wendy. Something different. I like weird and wonderful things. And it's good to be able to work on a little thing when I'm not feeling up to doing a whole art journal page. I can sit in front of the telly and do these. So I'm just going to quickly colour in the hair. Oh, this texture doesn't want to work either. What is it with pens tonight? No pens like me lately. Especially Posca paint pens. That's right, I can always go and darken this up afterwards. I might do another one and do stamped hair, which is really cool as well. Or you could put stencils in their hair. You can put just about anything. I think I'll give up with colouring this one black. You get the idea. You sit there and colour it black or paint it. I don't really want to get painty. Well, that's not going to work. That is a thin Sharpie. Let's see if this works. I could put a bow in her hair. I could put a crown on her. But you get the idea. The more contrast you have with it, the better it is. Like black and white looks really cool. But if you want it to be nice and subtle, you can also use other colours as well. My pens are going to be a pain tonight. Just imagine I've coloured the rest of that hair over there in black. So then I like to do black and white stripes on the neck, which look really cool. So we're just going to do a line under here. And we're just going to freehand lines around her neck. I sort of like them to curl a bit, so it gives the illusion that her neck is round, not flat. Was it really cold? Did anyone get snow today that didn't expect snow? I heard it snowed in places that usually don't get snow because it's so cold today. We've been having a terrible snap of cold weather. I was thankful the power wasn't off for an extended period of time today, otherwise my house would have got really cold. And I'm just going to grab a white paint pen. See if my white paint pen will play nice. This is a Delusions paint pen because my other Posca paint pen is not deciding to play. So what I like to do is just outline. I'm sorry if my head gets in the way. I've got to be able to see what I'm doing. Just like to put some outlines on the black just to add a bit more detail. It's amazing these little added bits of white actually bring all the piece together. I can't see from my head. I think my head is getting shot. Excuse me for a minute. I did grab a box so I could put this up, which might be a bit closer, so I have to have my head so down on the table, but we'll see how we go. What I also like to do is go and put a little white line just inside where the black is. So I'll just do the bits I've done. And now this paint pen's deciding to be a pain. Must be too cold for paint pens today. Oh, Wendy, rub it in. We have lovely sunny days up here. Yes, Wendy's up near the Queensland, Victoria, that'd be nice. Queensland, New South Wales border, so she doesn't get the really cold winters. It'd be lovely to be in Queensland at the moment when it's nice and warm. But then again, give us a couple of months and we'll be complaining it's far too hot, because my house gets hugely hot gets hugely cold in the winter and then gets hugely hot in the summer, so I can't win. So I like to leave just about a mil or something around the edge. Just making sure I'm not dragging my hand back through the paint pen. And see how that little line just helps to give it an edge. And then we might do one, and I'll show you how I've done the stamped hair, which looks really cool. Love to see if you try any of these faces. If you pop them up on social media, you can tag Scrapbooking if you use some of our stencils, or even if you don't. Love to see what you do. I sat there the other day and made quite a few of these, so I've got 4 or 5 of them at the moment. You never know, if you order this weekend, one might jump in your order. Never know what I throw in your orders. I try to throw chocolates in people's orders, but somehow they always get eaten in the house before the orders get sent out. Missy got into my Maltesers today. I don't know. So imagine that's all black, and what the last thing I like to do is actually give it a bit of an edge of black. So hopefully I've got enough black sitting in here, especially if, see, this one's just got an edge here. It just tends to finish it off and it makes it stick out. So I'm just going to edge. I like to use the chisel tips for edging, so I'm just going to get in here and sort of lean the chisel tip of the alcohol marker against the paper, and then you just get the slightest little edge. The more of an angle you hold it at, the thicker mark you get. So I'm probably holding it at, what, 45-degree angle? Having a maths lesson today as well. And when we stick it on our art journal page, that will just give it a little bit of a break from whatever colour we are. See how that little bit just adds to it? Thinking, I don't like, not liking this little bit here, but I think maybe the nose needs to go in some more. Maybe I'll just leave it. Knowing when to stop is good. Let's do another one with stamped hair, which will be really cool. So I'm going to do another one on a, turn this over, on this bit of paper here. So you can get about 2 out of an A4 sheet of paper, which is cool. Let's do, I will do this one. I've got lots facing the other way. So these obviously don't have bodies, so you could use Delusions collage sheets. You grab some bodies out of there, or a body out of a magazine, or you could just have a head on your page, which look really cool. I have to use some of these on an art journal page. So just popping the ink in just to get the line of the stencil. Again, you could do it with pencil for any of the latecomers. You can trace around your stencil with pencil. That's not a problem. I tend to don't do that because I have trouble seeing pencil lines, because anyone that doesn't know me, I have low vision, and I also have issues with really light things. So pencil lines on pages are really hard for me to see. This ink's a little easy to see. I'm going to see if this paint pen will be nice, the thinner one. It's nice for a few minutes, then it doesn't. Is it just me, or does anyone else have issues with Posca paint pens? I don't know, they seem to just hate me. They seem to not last very long unless I'm using them lots and don't realise it. Colour that in with the thicker one. Where do I put my thicker pen? Up there. Oh, I don't like how Facebook has changed the setup of the live. That's a bit annoying. I'm all out of kilter because the comments have moved from the left of the screen to the right of the screen, so I keep looking up and can't see anything. I'm a lot like my daughter. I don't like change. It's like, why change things when they work? So I'm just making sure I don't drag my hand through the paint pen. That's why I keep turning my page upside down. Sting paint pen. It's only a new one the other day. Trying to be good and keep all my new paint pens in a pencil case, and they're the ones I go to and use all the time. And don't lose them and then go open another one and then have like 20 open, which I've been known to do, which has been working so far. And then that drawer you saw is all my extra ones, because every time I order from Officeworks I just have to grab a couple more. It's so funny when you order from Officeworks, off on a squirrel tangent. If you order like 20 items, they'll send it out in about 4 different deliveries from 4 different stores. It's like, and you'll get a smallish box with 1 pen in it, which is quite funny. The delivery driver just thinks it's hilarious every time I get Officeworks deliveries. Don't know how they make any money when deliveries, when they send it out in so many little boxes. A lot of stores are doing that now. It's just funny. So this one I'm going to be a bit more careful where I draw my hair, because I don't want to have any lines that I need to cover up with black. Let's colour that in with a bigger marker, so I'm not here all night. I was sitting in front of the telly doing these the other night and it was quite relaxing. I have to see if there's a movie or something on. Or I might put someone up on YouTube and sit there for the rest of the night and play. Okay. So I want to come back and put her chin line in, so then I have an idea of where her face finishes. I should have done that when I lined it all up. Obviously when I trace over things it's not, oh there we go, not perfect. Couldn't line it up. Okay, so we got her chin line. So now I'm going to draw, we're going to make one that looks like this, because I think she just looks really cool. This is what my, paint, what my head feels like some days. Lately I've been dealing with a lot of doctors with my daughter's stuff, and stupid stuff, like, things can't be simple, can they? So let's put her neck in, that's the easiest part to do. And let's do her hair, which I'm trying to copy this one, but it's reversed and my brain's going, you've got to do things backwards. Okay, let's do this side first. So we'll do a bit of a blob, so just freehanding, going around where my bit of paper is. And then, didn't really think of that, did I? What are we going to do? We're going to do, actually we might give her a cowlick, which would be fun. And then this will come in here. So now I want to define her face, and then that's her hair that we're going to stamp in. So I want to come up here and down here. I'm not really thinking too much about it. If I make a mistake, it's only a bit of paper. There we go. So now I've just grabbed a really old stamp set. So any small texture stamps. The reason I like this one's got 3 different size dots and 3 different size solids we can play with. Trying to dive into my stash and use up all my old stuff that just sits there and gets neglected. Got my eye on a few new stamp sets and I'm thinking, I really should give some love to my older ones first. So what I want to do is start with the solid dots and get those out of the way. First, I might end up bringing that in when I cut it, and then she'll just have a bit of, let's stamp it all out and cut it, and I can always give her a haircut later. It's hard when I'm trying to copy something. I'm trying to make it exactly the same and it doesn't work out the same, and then it looks funny and then I get annoyed at it. So this one is just about 1.5 centimeters small black dot. Oh, this would be fun to do in colours too. Maybe I should get my coloured inks out. Oh, let's grab my coloured inks. Let's get that black ink off there. Don't change my mind because I can. let's do this one in coloured inks. Let me whiz over to my drawers and what colour hair we're going to make her. Let's make her, so this is my inky drawer. I'm trying to get organised and have everything together so I can find it. And it has a spot to go back to, so I want sort of 3 colours. These are all my archival inks, just because they're close by. You could do this with, I want this colour. Let's go with pinky hair. You could certainly do this with Tim Holtz. Oh, I just threw my stamps on the ground. Really? Let me pick my stamps up that I threw on the ground. So you could do these with any sort of ink pads. I find I just like archival because if I go to put this on an art journal page and put gel medium or anything water reactive over the top, all of the stuff I've used is permanent. So I've used permanent paint pens. All of these markers are permanent. So I'm just getting that black off my ink, off my little pad, off my little stamp. Sorry, I can't talk tonight. So let's go with the darkest colour first. So this one is Cactus Flower. So I deliberately want to stamp, wow, that's pretty dark, unless I've got black in there. Didn't realise that was so dark. Okay. What was I going to say? So I'm deliberately going to stamp over the edge of the line because I'm going to cut that off. Sarah lost train of thought. So she has sort of some half baubles on her as well. Maybe I had black on the ink pad for up there. That's right. So just going to randomly stamp. Not really going to overthink it that much. I don't mind that they're not completely stamped. Okay, now I'm going to stop with that one. And we're going to grab the little solid dot. So I hope everyone's getting lots of crafty stuff done while we're stuck in lockdown at home. Hopefully we are only in lockdown for 5 days. I doubt it, but we can wish, can't we? So I'm just going to put some smaller dots around. And then I might do some smaller ones in another colour, because I was going to do it in another colour. It's been a while since I've done a live and talked while I've crafted. Oh. I've been trying to do weekly lives, and life just... often I don't have a day where I don't deal with stupid people on the phone, as in stupid doctors or stupid hospitals at the moment, and it's just... gets on top of me some days. Things should not be so hard. I'll put it that way. To organise, but apparently it really is. So just going to overlap. So this one is, can't read upside down, Vibrant Fuchsia. So some of these are from the Ranger line and some of these are from the Distress line. So we've got Picked Raspberry as well that we're going to use, if you wanted to know the colours. So there's no reason why you can't colour the face as well. You could watercolour the face so it wasn't so white. It's quite fun here, just stamping and adding dots everywhere. I'm sure it's quite thrilling watching. Oh, you have to apologise. I'm in a funny mood tonight. I said to Alexis the other day, I'm giving up making plans. I'm not going to plan to do anything lately. Because as soon as I plan to do something, something just stops my plans. But that's alright, makes life fun. Supposed to go to Melbourne next Wednesday. Don't think we'll be going. I think we'll be changing that doctor's appointment to a telehealth. Oh, I don't know. Can't win lately, can we? So just adding, I think this is Picked Raspberry. So I'm trying to collect all the archival inks that match my oxides and distress inks because I like the colours in them, but I don't like the distress inks and oxides when I want to use them with mixed media and they move, the ink colour moves. Just sort of filling in. I do have a smaller one, smaller dot that I'm going to fill in a minute. What I might do is end up doing something over the dark purple dots because they're looking a bit dark compared to everything else. This sounded good in my head doing coloured dots, but might end up putting some white over the top just to tone down these big solid ones because they're standing out like a sore thumb at the moment. Let's do this one, that darker colour with the small dots, and it might bring that colour in a bit. So I could do this with text, I could do it with any sort of stamps really. So just filling in all her hair. She's got very dotty hair, this lady. So as you can see, there's a really cool and simple, and basically once you've got your face, you can, whatever mood you're in, you can add whatever you like to your face. You could leave it just black, you can do it all sorts of colours. Liking how those little dots are toning in. This might become one of my favourite stamp sets now. I've had it for quite a few years and haven't used it. Oh, I don't know. And let's do something to down here. I am thinking, oh, maybe we stick a butterfly on her neck. Oh, that would look cool. Yeah, we might do that. Which butterfly? I think I like this one with the wings that are half cut out. Let's stamp a butterfly down in her neck and finish her neck off. Instead of doing stripes, let's do something totally different. Now, what colour do I want a butterfly to be? I think I want it to be this colour. This would be like a butterfly necklace. Oh, if I'd thought I could have stamped a butterfly in her hair. Maybe I'll stamp a butterfly, cut it out and stick it on her hair. And then what I might do is add some lines behind the butterfly. I don't know, I'm just making it up as I go along now. Isn't that what I always do when I come on live? So I have a bit of an idea of what I'm going to do. And then that now looks not what I wanted to do. Should just left it. So I just want to do little... Sometimes I have a good idea in my head and then, yeah, well, when it transfers onto paper, it doesn't seem like a good idea at all. Let's make that look a bit better. Okay, she will look better when I cut her out, but do I want to stick a butterfly in her hair? Let me calm some of these big fat dots down with white paint pen. Where's my other? Have I got a thicker white paint pen? Yes, I do. I've got two. Let's see which one will play nice today. I'm sounding quite empty, and so is that one. Might just calm down some of that purple. It should be all dotty. Should have tested the ink before I stuck it on my person. That's alright. We can always fix it. Oh, I do like the spots on that. Sorry, just flicking to see if the comments are coming. If you've joined us late, Facebook have changed around how I set up a live through my laptop, through the computer, with a webcam. So it's all out of kilter. My comments are in a different spot, and sometimes they don't scroll, and you get new comments, but it doesn't appear, and you've got to grab your mouse and scroll down. Which places like Facebook would just leave things alone. I like to know where things are, and you just learn where they are, and then they go and change it. So let's cut her out, and I'm thinking I want to colour in black stripes on her. I want to colour in black stripes here. I know I may regret this in a minute. So basically it's just fun to play around, and let's see if I can go around the butterfly. I can always re-stamp it, cut it out and stick it on if I stuff it up. Which might be happening in a minute. So it's fun just to play around with different things and add stamps. You could add basically anything to the hair. Just thought I wasn't going to put stripes on the neck. I don't know, stripes just seem to make it look finished for some reason. So I do have all these stencils. I have these half-face stencils in about 8 different designs on my website with different things on the side of the face. So this is the 6-inch version of them. They're not on the website yet. I need to do a lot of website work, but well, it's the last on my priority list at the moment. I can make the faces, these face stencils, these ones are just under 6 inches. I can make them just under 8 inches and just under 12 inches as well, which I have done in the past. They're just custom orders, so you just got to email me the name of the stencil that you want. If you want to do some giant work in your art journal or a piece of home decor or something. All of my stuff can be requested in different ways. At the moment I'm just a bit behind with my customer requests because, yeah, life just keeps getting in the way. But we get there eventually. Just going to thicken up that side of the neck because I stuffed up the other side, but that's okay. Could have always cut it off, I suppose. I do like the black on the neck. Let's cut her out because it's looking a bit strange with all the overstamping. Scissors. And I'm going to fix up something here. I'm not liking that. So that's the great thing, is if you do something and then you don't like it, you can always give her a haircut. I can always cut bits of the hair off or change the shape of it if I'm not happy with it. So you can be a hairdresser and plastic surgeon all in one and not have to go to school for it. I am going to put a black edge around, so if I see some of these black guidelines, it does not bother me at the moment because I'm going to cover them up anyway. I like finding new and interesting ways to use the items in my stash, even if it's inspired by someone else and changing it around a bit different. She does look really weird, but that's okay. I think I'm going to trim a little bit in here because I sometimes do like just with my stamps so I don't lose them. I like this where there's a bit of space between the hair and where the face finishes. I think that just finishes it off a bit and makes it look like there's more face, but you can't really see it. Now I want to bring, so I want to sort of imaginary go around her nose, go up here. And I might have totally stuffed it up, but that's okay. It's only paper, right? Can't stuff it up. So I don't like this little drippy angle here, so I'm actually going to round that off. And I think that'll look a whole lot better because it will tie it in with the rest of the roundness of the shapes I've used. Now I'm going to grab my chisel tip marker again. This is what I use a lot of my alcohol markers for. I use them to edge things, except when I slip and put a bloody dirty mark on that one. Because the chisel tips are really easy to edge stuff because they slide along the edge of the paper really well. I could edge it with ink and things like that, but usually my texture is within reach and it's just quick and easy. So I hope this was something fun and different for you. That's about all I had for you tonight. I would sit here and turn one of these into an art journal page, but I promised Alexis I would play some games with her tonight and I wouldn't be late on my live because I was anticipating doing it in 2 short bits. So if I do turn any of these into an art journal page, I will pop pictures up on my Facebook page. I'll pop some of these pictures up as well. So if you want a closer look at them, I do like the one with the colour on it. So I think I might go and play some more. after we've played some games with Alexis. She's really into playing card games at the moment. The problem is she beats me 9 out of 10 times. And we're both very competitive, so we both don't like to lose. She's too much like my daughter, I think. Too much like her mother. So I do like those. And what I could do is actually, I wonder if I need to cut that off. Or whether I like it. Maybe I'll leave it until I put it on an art journal page, and I can always snip this off. It just looks funny. Maybe if I fold it back. Oh, then she's going to look even worse. No, I like it. She's just having a bad hair day. It goes in with all other bad days we are having. So thank you very much for joining me on this lovely, what are we, Saturday night? So I don't even know what day of the week it is some days. That's what you get for being home all the time. Thank you for joining me on this wet, cold Saturday night. And if all goes well tomorrow, I'll be back on at 1 o'clock tomorrow with another fun little project, making some embellishments in a different way using some of my products. And then at 7 o'clock tomorrow night, Alexis might be joining me for some art journaling fun. We'll see. So thank you very much for taking some time out of your evening to spend it with me. And I can't wait to see if you make any of these fun little characters. And I think the weirder they look, the better. And I think we all need some weird in our life lately. And some crazy, because it just matches what's going on outside with COVID. Maybe this is what we look like after we deal with the COVID situation and listen to the news and hear what's going on in the world. So I hope everyone stays nice and warm and safe, and all goes well. I'll see you at 1 o'clock tomorrow for another fun little project, making some, I believe the buzzword for this at the moment is what we call collage fodder, which is making things to then use in your art journal. And then hopefully tomorrow night we will use one of them on an art journal page. I may use one of these or one of the ones I use tomorrow. Alexis may even pinch one of these to use. We'll see what she's doing. See what she wants to use. She did tell me last night they looked very weird. Maybe I'll get to Hi Bronnie, how you going? Yeah, you just made it. You can always watch the replay. So we were just making some of these fun little critters or fun little people using the half-face stencil that I sell in my store. So I've got to go finish this one off. I may even go over this one with black paint because my black markers are running out. I've made some with coloured faces. I did promise I'll play some games with Alexis tonight before it gets too late, and I'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Hopefully our power is not going in and out like it was today. Thank you very much, everyone. Bye for now.